Morning, friends. Today is the topic 11, assessment. This is your study guide for your unit test. Make sure that you get your Moyo done today and you take the other part home for homework and you actually study through this. So, number one, it says which equals 100 less than 763. Well, 763 minus 100. Well, I'm sure you already put your name on it. If you didn't, there you go. Equals 663. So now I've got to figure out which equals 663. It says choose all that apply. What does that mean? That usually means there's more than one. Sometimes three, sometimes two, not usually one. Could be zero, but for the most part this year it's meant more than one. Well, 663. We know it's not this. Can't be 863, 863. So make sure, tomorrow the test it might say 100 more. Or it might say 10 less. So be careful. Less means fewer. So then taking a look at these two, you have to figure out if those actually work or not. Number two, it says the open number line below shows subtraction. So 587, hopping back 100, then 10, and then 10, then 1, then 1, then 1, and then what does it land on? Well, this is pretty easy. It says complete the equation. Well, you know you're starting here. You don't know where you're ending, but how many you're hopping back is just all of these numbers up here. 110 and 10 and 1 and 1 and 1. So add those numbers together and put it here. And then you can figure out 467 minus 123, and that's going to be your difference right there. Down the bottom. So down here it says the difference equal to 462. Well, my suggestion to you is just stack these. 998 minus 536, and if you have to use a different piece of paper, fine, do it. If you run out of room here, 8 minus 6 is 2, 9 minus 3 is 6, 9 minus 4 is 4, 462. So like you know the first one's yes. I'd stack them all personally. If you need a scrap piece of paper for your test, great. If you need a dry erase board, great, get it. But just subtract them all. If you just guess, great. More power to you. You got a 50-50 shot. I don't like those odds. Just got to figure out if they equal 462. Last but not least, on the front page, it says there are 537 boys and 438 girls at the concert. How many more boys than girls? How many more is subtraction? Got to subtract. Now, if you don't regroup here, we're going to have problems because there are fewer in the menu, and fewer ones in the menu, and then the subtrend. Then once you regroup here, now you 2 minus 3, you can't do 2 minus 3s. You're going to have to regroup again. So you're going to have to regroup the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. You're going to have to regroup one of them. Figure out what the difference is. On the back, show how to add up on an open number line. Add up. What does that mean? If it says add up on a number line, that means you're going to add up from 490 to 740. So here you're going to subtract 740 minus 490. If it was go back on a number line, you'd start at this 740 and hop back. This is adding up. So you're going to start at 490 and you're going to get to 740. How do you do that? Well, here's a refresher. First thing I would do is get to a nearest 100. 490 plus 10 is 500. Normally I'd say just do the hundreds, but this one's easy because you're at 490. You're like, oh, 490, I can get 10 more and get to 500. Great, I'm at 500. Now I'm at 500, I got to go to, now I do my hundreds. 500 is 700. Plus 100 is 600. Plus 100 is 700. Now I just got to go to 40. Plus 40, right? So 10 to 500 to 600 to 700 plus 40 more. Now I just add these up. 10, 100, 140. Figure it out. Is this the only way to add up? No, absolutely not. You could just do hundreds first, and you could do the tens and the ones. And it's up to you. Look at your work and find item 5. Why can you use adding up on an open line number line to find this? Why? Use all that apply. That's keywords here, friends. You can always add up to subtract on an open number line. You can't always add up to subtract on an open number line. An open number line helps you break apart numbers to subtract. An open number line should be used for any type of problem. Gotta figure out if they ring true or not. Down at the bottom, you're just going to plug in 7, 6, 1, and 2. Use the number cards to find the missing numbers in the subtraction equation. I would start with the ones. 14 minus 7 is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, I know that I just regrouped from here, and I know I have to go one less here. So 6 minus 5. You could use this to help. I would just write the missing numbers in here. I'd give you 1, 7. Figure out the other 3. Next page, I'm going to do the performance assessment 2, just in case you want to do it at school. Take it home for study guide. The chart shows the number of beads sold at Betty's Craft Store for 4 weeks. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It says how many more beads? How many more? Oh boy, I hope bells and whistles are going off in your brain about subtraction. How many more beads did Betty sell in week 1? Week 2 than week 1. Week 2, week 1. Well, that's pretty easy. Cut and dry right here. 536 minus 400. The only problem is it's not stacked, so now I can just subtract down the columns and figure it out. Over number 2, it's this same chart. It says 458 glass beads were sold in week 3. The other beads sold in week 3 were plastic. So there's 2 types of beads in week 3. So 675 total. 458 of those were glass. The other ones were plastic. So you're just essentially open number line to solve. It says use the open number line to solve. You're subtracting 675 minus 458. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do the open number line. You could do 458 hopping up, adding up to get to 675, or you could start at 675 and hop back to 458. Doesn't matter either way, but either way you're going to put 458 here and 675 here, and you're going to either hop back and count up what you have here, or you're going to add up. Doesn't matter. Your choice. Whatever you're more comfortable with. Explain how you solve the problem. So you're just going to say, first I what? Well, first I added 2 to get to 460, or first I subtracted 5 or subtracted 75. However you want to do it. Doesn't matter to me. Explain it down here and get points for that. On the back. Whoa, it's still on the beads. Dex buys 243 beads at Betty's store. He uses 118 of them to make a bracelet. How many beads does Dex have left? It says solve the problem, show your work, explain what strategy you used. This is going to be tricky because if you didn't read this sentence, you wouldn't explain what strategy you used. So 243 minus 118. So you could do regrouping, you could do open number line, you could do mental math, you could do partial sums. It's up to you, but make sure you explain what strategy you used. Here's your equation. Last but not least, number 4, it says Jenny buys 958 beads. 245 beads are blue, 309 beads are orange, 153 beads are white, the rest are red. Ooh, 2-stepper. So, how many red beads does Jenny buy? Great. So, what is hidden question in the problem? This is the hidden question. It says how many red beads? You don't know red beads. How many red beads? It's hidden because you don't know. You've got blue, and you've got orange, and you've got white, but then you're like red. The rest are red. I don't know how many are red. That's the hidden question. Last but not least, it says solve the problem. So this is a 2-stepper, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 is going to be Add up all the beads you have. Information, information, information. So you're going to add. Why are you adding? Because you have to figure out how many beads are all these other colors. Now, if you're not comfortable with three-digit numbers, just do 2 and then add a third one. First, you need to add those 3. Now, the second part of this is subtract 958 minus that difference. For the sum here. Explain which strategy you use. On the test, friends, it's going to say explain. If you don't explain, I use regrouping, or I used an open number line, or I used partial sums to find 300 plus 240, 309, 245, 153. That's it. If you have any questions, please come see me. Make sure you get this turned in promptly this morning so that I can check it so you can take it home for your study guide.